UG Gunners TV, Fans Front, match preview. Arsenal take on Spurs at Emirates Stadium. I'm joined by Ronald. Ronald, it has been 12 years since Spurs last won at the Emirates Stadium. Both teams this round come against each other with great form from either sides. How do you see the two managers approaching this game?
Yes, okay, thank you, Big Steve. Now, this is a match that is going to be at the Emirates Stadium, and every Arsenal fan would want to win that match. At whatever cost, what it comes in, we have to win this match. So now, this match is going to be tricky because all the teams are on form. Spurs sitting as the second, Arsenal sitting at the fourth, but leveled on points but on a goal difference. Now this match is going to be tricky because it is going to be a match without Harry Kane for the first time, without Granit Xhaka for the first time, and now this one, it is going to be about team effort. And now Spurs now this time they are playing as a team. They are not relying on goals from only one person. They are getting goals from different sources. But now in this match, we are going to be having battles. They are going to be very key battles. And this match is going to be won in the midfield. And if we talk about what midfield, the way Spurs midfield was standing and the one of Arsenal, so now it is going to be up to our coach Arteta, the midfield that he has to select.
Yes, just picking up from there. Of course, we've seen mixed reactions from the Arsenal fans, especially with concerns coming up on Kai Havertz. You've talked about the midfield battle. Of course, we are seeing Spurs having two strong lads there, Sarr and Bissouma. So we have some different options in midfield. Of course, we have the choice that Mikel Arteta prefers, which is Kai Havertz. We've seen Mohamed Elneny returning back from that long-term injury. Then we have, of course, Jorginho. Of course, we've seen Smith Rowe also can play in that position. If Arsenal is to counter that midfield of Tottenham, how do you think Mikel Arteta should set up that midfield?
Because, okay, thank you, Big Steve. The midfield of what Arsenal is known, the way it's supposed to be standing. But now, the question comes in between Fabio Vieira and Havertz, who is supposed to start. And now, as you see this game, it is what? A tactical game. It is going to be a mind game. Who wins it better? Now we have the midfielders of what? Spurs. We have in Bissouma and who? Ismail Sarr, who have to sit in front of Odegaard. But now Arteta has to get a player who has to do what? Help Odegaard, divert attention of those two players so that we can let Odegaard be free. Now, in that scenario, you have Havertz and Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira, of late, is one of the preferred midfield options that Arsenal fans want him to start. But Mikel Arteta wants Havertz to start. And those are two different players who are playing the same position but brought in to play different roles. Havertz in that midfield, he can do it better on the aspect of Spurs. In that Havertz can come and stand in the when the midfield of Bissouma and Ismail Sarr to help him divert attention from who? From Odegaard, so that Odegaard can be free. Havertz in the Premier League is a fear factor more than Fabio Vieira. But when it comes to skill, Fabio Vieira is far way better. And now, to me, Arteta would have started Havertz. The way Havertz played on the Man United game, he played a very good role because he took away the attention of Casemiro from Odegaard, which left Odegaard to be free and play. And now, on the game of Everton, Havertz started on the bench and Vieira came in. And Vieira performed extremely very well. Now that is the midfield dilemma that we are going to have in. But whoever Arteta brings in, we hope that person will do better. The rest, Declan Rice, as we have seen him this season, is perfect. And also we shall be having another midfield battle, especially on the wing, on the right wing flank. How do you see Bukayo Saka and Odegaard?
Actually, I think it's going to be an interesting battle between those two lads. I think Udogie has started actually his career at Spurs with a spark. You can see him really running down that flank. He's actually a very quick player. And but what I know with most fullbacks, if you're to match with Bukayo Saka, then most of the fullbacks actually limit their attacking prowess.
Their movements
yes,
forward.
their movements actually forward. So you have to actually to maintain your position if you're to counter Bukayo Saka. Remember, on transitions, that's where Arsenal actually picks up Bukayo Saka. He remains at the edge just of the center line. Odegaard picks up the ball, is either looking at Martinelli or Bukayo Saka. And when he picks up Bukayo Saka and when your fullback is off their position, I think Bukayo Saka will destroy you. So I think Udogie is supposed to maintain his position
be
and cautious and maybe limit his movements up front.
Forward.
Yes, and I think maybe Yevis Bissouma or Papa Sarr is supposed to be actually coming in to help Udogie. We've seen most fullbacks, if they are to counter the Bukayo Saka, actually you'll have most of the midfielders coming in to help their left back against Bukayo Saka. We've seen most teams doubling up on Bukayo Saka or even tripling up on him. So that if Udogie is to have a decent game, I think he's supposed to get help from his midfielders. Otherwise, Bukayo Saka, I think, will have him sweating for that game. Yes. Then of course we are another interesting battle. Of course, Martinelli is going to face, I think, a late fitness test, but I think it will be too soon to bring him back.
Yes.
So we have Trossard coming up against Porro. I think Porro is another player who likes flying up front. And how do you see the two players actually coming up on that left flank?
Okay, thank you. With the two players, it is
Trossard and Porro.
Yes. Trossard and Porro. As you see, Trossard is a very well experienced player at this time. He is now 29 years old, and Porro was still a young player. And you know, with what Trossard is very skillful, extremely skillful with both foot, left and right.
Yeah.
And now in this match, we are going to expect an assist from Trossard. I think Pedro Porro should also limit his movement, just the way like his counterpart Udogie should also limit his movement, because Trossard has a very great speed, running forward and also coming back to help Zinchenko. I think in that in that wing, Pedro Porro should be conscious with Odegaard.
If you're Postecoglou, the Spurs manager, wouldn't you prefer probably Romeo in that fullback position?
Because
I think if you're to see Emerson Royal, I think is more suited as a defender. He's better defensively. I think Pedro Porro likes actually going forward a lot. I think you'll also have a little bit of problems facing Trossard there. So if you're Ange Postecoglou, wouldn't you prefer Emerson Royal there? Maybe probably because he's a better defender than Pedro Porro. How do you see?
Yes, okay, yes, sir. As you see, with recent, Postecoglou has been playing Romero as a central midfielder, because he has been using a back four of Porro at the right, Udogie at the left, then Romeo and this guy called Van der Ven have been playing as what? Central defenders.
So, yeah, I'm talking about Emerson Royal, the Brazilian.
Royal,
yeah. Wouldn't you prefer him maybe on that?
I don't think, because now at this match you have to pick the best lineup. There's no second option. You have to start with your best lineup. I think Postecoglou will start with his Pedro Porro as his right wing back to counter Trossard. Okay.
Then we looked at last season. I think Spurs was one of the most dangerous teams when it comes to set pieces. I think they scored a lot of goals with set pieces. Mikel Arteta, of course, we know Arsenal's game is based on flair, passing that ball left, right, and center. Do you think Mikel Arteta must have a master plan to counter Spurs' strength when it comes to aerial balls? How do you think actually he must prepare for Spurs with their aerial prowess?
Yes, okay. Okay, now thank you, Big Steve. Now you see with that one of set pieces issues, Arsenal and Spurs are among the two teams who have scored more goals in what set pieces. Arsenal with 16 goals from set pieces from last season, Spurs also with 15. And all of them with their last Premier League matches. Arsenal's goal came from the set piece. Spurs' goal of Richarlison also came from the set piece. Now at this time, Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes have to be conscious with what set piece issues, especially defending them. And also we have our goalkeeper David Raya has also to be conscious with the set piece. And also vis-a-vis, as we also get the what set pieces, we have to use the height advantage. As we have very tall players, Saliba heading the ball, he should be clinical, very fast, and also Gabriel Magalhaes. He scored most of his goals last season from what set pieces. We need to have that one again this season more and more. I think there we shall be able to get something good, defending the set pieces and also using our what advantages. And of recent, Arsenal these days with the set pieces, they're not bringing in long balls. They're taking two players at the corner to start the what set pieces. Yeah. It is just starting the what set piece.
I think it's something from the training ground. I think that they are trying to emulate at most of the matches.
Yes.
Then of course we are having a very difficult situation of course in between the sticks, looking Aaron Ramsdale and David Raya. There's been a big debate there of right now whether Aaron Ramsdale has lost his place as the first choice. Looking at this London derby, do you think Aaron Ramsdale comes back, or do you think Mikel Arteta is going to maintain David Raya in between the sticks? How do you see that one actually playing out?
Okay, thank you, Big Steve. I don't see Arteta bringing in Aaron Ramsdale in the sticks. With the performance of David Raya in these two matches, as you know, both of the goalkeepers are on the same level, but there is a very slight difference, especially in ball distribution. David Raya is quite more better in ball distribution. Even if when you see last season's statistics, David Raya performed better than Aaron Ramsdale.
Most fans are saying David Raya has not been tested enough in the last two games. He has not faced actually any serious challenge. Of course, against Everton was maintaining a low block. They couldn't attack Arsenal actually the way they would have loved. Then against PSV in Champions League, still PSV, not so much. They offered actually little. So David Raya, some fans are saying David Raya hasn't yet faced in a serious challenge.
Yes, okay, yes, okay, that is very true. But you know, the hardest battle is given to the strongest soldier. So this time Arteta has to bring this hardest battle to David Raya. And you know, David Raya has also played against Spurs with his former club Brentford. Is also based in London. So it means David Raya also has experience of London derbies. I don't see Arteta again bring back Ramsdale, but as you see, fans want Ramsdale, but for him he has stick to David Raya. I think David Raya will be in the sticks, and he has to prove it, because we have also had those issues way back where we had Peter Cech and Bernard Leno. All of them were on the same level.
Exactly.
You do one mistake, the other comes in
automatically.
Ramsdale came in when Bernard Leno was also there, but by that time you had 3 goals. No, it was Bernard Leno and Martinez.
Yes.
Arteta had to decide between Bernard Leno and Martinez who remains in the stick.
Yes.
He let Martinez go, Bernard Leno remained. Then brought in Ramsdale. 2 goalkeepers on the same level. Bernard Leno was given his time. The first matches, made a mistake. Bernard Leno was out. Ramsdale came to the sticks. And from now, it is now 2 seasons. Ramsdale only missed the Everton match out of the 2 seasons. Raya came in. Ramsdale was given his first 4 matches.
And the fans are saying actually he has not done anything wrong actually to be dropped. How do you see that argument? Is it a valid argument?
Yes, it is very valid, because there's no mistake he has done.
Yes.
But now But now, this time, Arteta has to test his team before very many games go in. So now when you see Ramsdale didn't do anything, but was just conceding those silly goals, simple mistakes. We don't expect Raya to do that. If he does it, he will also go back to the bench, and then Ramsdale comes in. And Arteta also mentioned something, that he has something in his mind that is telling him that in a certain time in a match, he will get a keeper being substitute. He thought about it it was on the Fulham match. It was in the 65th minute. He wanted to bring out Ramsdale and bring in Raya, but left it.
I think it's a big debate actually there. And I think Arteta is trying to introduce something new in the game of making substitution of keepers.
Yes,
do you buy that idea?
I
of
buy it
substituting
totally.
Keepers.
I buy it totally because as you see, David Raya is good at passing the balls, But now, the best team Arteta brings, we hope it to win. Now, when we go to my prediction,
maybe before we go to predictions, let's first touch a little bit of the two front lines. Of course, we saw Edin Ketia actually sitting out 90 minutes. He didn't feature in the Champions League. Of course, we've seen Gabriel Jesus returning fully fit. He looked very sharp in the Champions League. Ahead of this game, of course, Nketiah has been in great form as well. Ahead of this game, do you think Mikel Arteta starts with Edin Ketia or he maintains Gabriel Jesus in the team?
With this game, this is a big game. This is a London derby, and we need experienced players who are now proven. I think Gabriel Jesus will start ahead of Edin Ketia because of the experience Gabriel Jesus has, and also Gabriel Jesus can also play as a center forward and also dash into the wings at different occasions, which Edin Ketia cannot do. Edin Ketia stays there, waits for the ball, rotates around those central defenders, but Gabriel Jesus moves wide, both left and right. You also saw the goal against PSV. The cross was from Trossard.
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus was wide. So that is the difference between Gabriel Jesus and Edin Ketia. I think Mikel Arteta will start Gabriel Jesus, but we also forgot the issue of Song Min. How do you talk about Min Son?
Very dangerous
facing
player.
Ben White.
Very dangerous player. I think actually against Arsenal, he has been one of the top performers of Spurs actually in these North London derbies. I think looking at the previous fullbacks, I think they have really suffered with Heung-min Son. And right now, we look at Ben White in that right back position, just like the way we've been talking about the other fullbacks, trying to limit their movements. I think it's the same thing with Ben White. Ben White also likes running through that channel. But this time round with Heung-min Son, I think he should just maintain his position. Son is a very dangerous player. Any type of gap you give him, he can go left, he can go right, he can shoot with either foot. So I think Ben White must actually be on his A game if he's to counter Son in that game. So looking at this game, two managers, great form. Of course, Spurs playing with a lot of swagger, just like Arsenal. How would you see this game actually playing out? What's your prediction?
With my prediction, before my prediction, Arteta has to be having it in his mind that you don't need to let Man City go. Man City is playing on Saturday, Arsenal is playing on Sunday. So Arteta has to bring his A team. In that, Raya in goal, Ben White and Zinchenko playing as wide backs.
Yeah.
Then Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Declan Rice, Odegaard, Havertz, Trossard, Saka and Gabriel Jesus. I think with that lineup, if Mikel Arteta starts with that lineup, I give it a 3-0. I don't see Spurs scoring against Arsenal if Raya remains in the sticks.
That's quite an interesting. Who do you think will be the likely scorers?
As usual, the usual culprits. Okay, Steve, what is your prediction of the North London derby?
Of course, we are saying this time round Spurs don't have Harry Kane. who of course managed to bang about 14 goals in his last 16 London Derby appearances. But of course this season we've seen Spurs actually picking goals from different players. So it's going to be an interesting match. Maybe a little bit of, I would maintain your lineup and maybe make like one change in the lineup of Arsenal. I think in that midfield I would love to see a Jorginho coming in. If we are to keep Spurs actually on that midfield actually, if it's to tick, then I think Jorginho should come in there in the place of Kai Havertz. So I think with Jorginho coming in, I think we shall have more of that ball. So I see Arsenal actually picking up the 3 points. I think it will be 3-1 victory for Arsenal at the Emirates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Big Steve.
Thank you for joining me, Ronald. Comment, subscribe, comment, share. Yeah, UG Gunners TV.
Yes. Make this video reach to very many Arsenal fans.